Ready to go. Okay, Shabbat Tov again, Rabotai. One more day from our studios here in Surfside, Florida. I'm gonna head in, and tomorrow, B'ezrat Hashem, we hope to be back in our studios in the Northeast, in the frigid Northeast, where Will Sisiyot are welcome. Anyway, so today we have day 65, and we have over here a very important discussion, two discussions. First of all, I think there's something missing here, to be honest with you, in our books. Because if you look at page 129, the paragraph ends, in the middle, there's a little space over there. Then when you get to 130, it just continues in the middle of nowhere. So I think there's something missing over here.
They did it purposely. Yeah, they did it purposely.
They did it purposely. They left. They knocked this out, and it starts in the middle of nowhere. That all leather garments.
Yeah, he did it here.
I explained it.
Yeah,
I'm not on the WhatsApp.
The books are not missing anything. It was skipped several on purpose. The rabbi did this for the rest of the book as well, as he saw fit was less practical for the book.
Okay, fine. At least I noticed it. Anyway, so the first item is leather garments are patur from tzitzit. Okay, that's not considered a beged. A beged is either wool according to the Torah, or linen, or then we said cotton maybe, but everybody agrees that if a person, let's say, wears a leather garment, completely leather, patur from tzitzit. The question that the poskim discuss is what if he's wearing a double-layered garment? So let's say you have leather on the outside and wool on the inside. So how do you judge the garment? Is it considered leather because that's the outside? Well, therefore it's patur. Or they say, no, the one that's touching your body on the inside, there's a big mahloket. And some say you go according to the outer garment. Some say you go to the inner garment. Actually, the Mishnah Berurah says you always go according to the top garment. So therefore, if you had leather on the outside, you'd be patur. The Kaf HaHaim says, no, you go according to the inner garment. And if according to the Kaf HaHaim, you'd be hayav. The Ma'aseh, if you're going to wear such a garment that's made out of two layers, so one would wear it, puts a seed on it, but do not make a beracha, because we have safek berachot lehakim. Now we get to the next item. I'm going to come back to the double layer at the end. Now we get to the next item. What about synthetic garments? Synthetic garments are polyester, rayon, begadim that are made from petroleum and different types of, fabricated garments that they make today. They're not real. They're made out of chemicals. So then the question is, are they considered begadim in order to be hayab on the mitzvah of tzitzit? That's the big question over here today. Not such a simple question. Actually, there's three opinions, and we have to go through the three opinions one at a time. The first opinion is the rabbi that's called Har Tzvi. Har Tzvi, there was a great rabbi in Yerushalayim. He was called the Tzvi Pesach Frank, alav Shalom, and he basically comes along and he says that it depends how they're made. If they're made into a sheet, which means they're not woven. Normally garments, what's the property of a garment? It's woven. It has a sheti va'erev, right? But the garments sometimes that are made like this are just one straight sheet. And therefore they're similar then to leather, which also does not have sheti va'erev, does not have, that type of woven. So therefore they'll be patur. However, if you take these synthetic garments and you weave them, and therefore they don't have the property of leather anymore, now they have a property of wool and linen because they're woven. So then the Tzvi Pesach Frank writes that one is going to be hayav to put tzitzit. So he makes a look, and that's the opinion of the Levush, that's the opinion of Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, and that's the opinion of Acham Ben Zion, Abba Shaul in Or Tzion. So again, let's review. If you ask Rabbi Tzvi Pesach Frank, is synthetic garments obligated in tzitzit? He'll answer you, it depends. It's like it's a really rabbinical answer. What does it depend on? How they were made. If they're made into one sheet where they weren't woven, then I'll say they're patur. Why? It's like leather. Whereas if you threaded them and they have a warp and a weft, like they call sheti va'erev, so then already it'll be hayab. As I said, that's the opinion of Rabbi Zalman Auerbach, Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. That's the opinion of Acham Ben Zion Abba Shaul and the opinion of the Levush. And now we get to the next opinion. The next opinion is the Rab that's called Sitz Eliezer. Okay, Rabbi Eliezer Waldenberg. Now he has an interesting sivara. He says, my opinion, all synthetic garments are obligated in sisiyot, no matter exactly, regardless if they have threading, meaning sheti ba'erev, or if they one, even if they one sheet. Now, what is his logic? His logic is you can't compare a synthetic garment to leather. Why? Because leather, that's the way the garment is naturally. And if it's a garment that does not have sheti va'erev, that's the way it's made. It's from the animal's hide. Mashi'inkin, when it comes to synthetic garment, the manufacturer made it. And therefore, it's a beged the way he made it. And therefore, this is called a beged. And even if it's considered one sheet, which is you cannot compare something that was made initially, naturally, that does not have sheti va'erev. Okay, that's not going to consider the beged. But here, when they made it initially, they said this is the Bekiim. And therefore, he wants to say, even if a person would put, I'll tell you what would come out of Hechal Eliezer Waldenberg. Sometimes you have these nylon sisiyot. You ever see these nylon sisiyot with the holes in them? It looks like it's a white, very, very, very thin, and has holes in it. Now, what basically it is, it's one sheet of nylon. It's not sheti va'erev, it's not woven, and they make holes in it just to give it breathing, so it air. According to Hakam Hartsevi, it's one sheet, patur, have a good day. According to Hakam Eliezer Wilderberg, it says hayab. Aye, but it doesn't have sheti va'erev, doesn't need to have sheti va'erev. Leather is different. Leather, it's made initially like that, and therefore it's going to be patur. But shaken here, where they made it as a beged, like that, therefore he says it's going to be hayab. Now, the question would be, do you make a beracha according to Sitz Eliezer or not? That's up for discussion. But then you have the final opinion, and that's the opinion of Hayeh Adam. And he basically comes along and says, Rabotai, any synthetic garment is patur, even if it has sheti ve'erev, even if it's woven, it's going to be patur. And that's the opinion of Hacham Yosef Kohen, and that's the opinion of Hacham Moshe Feinstein, and that's the opinion of Aznat Biru. And therefore, all these opinions say, have a good day. So we have extreme opinions here now. We have some opinions, we have extremes. The extreme opinions, Hacham Eliezer Wildenberg, always Hayab. You have Hacham Hayeh Adam, always Patur. And then you have Hacham Wildenberg in the middle, depends. If it's Sheti Ve'erev, no. Then you have Hakam Hatsevi, Arab Sweep as right? Depends. If you have it woven, yes. If not, not. Question, what do we hold? Big controversy here, Rabotai. If somebody would ask you in the street, what is the rule with polyester? You have to tell them it's a three-way ma'loket over here. First, show me the garment. Show me the garment. You have to look at it. So, oh, this is woven over here. According to Hatsevi, Hayab. According to Hacham Eliezer Waldenberg, Hayab. According to the other shitot that we saw from Hayeh Adam, Patur. Okay, good. Show me another garment. He shows you a garment, these nylon with the holes in it. That's one sheet. Now, according to Hacham Hartsevi, Patur. According to Hacham Eliezer Waldenberg, Hayab. And according to Hayeh Adam, Patur. So therefore, all these items are going to be, exactly. So these items are going to be subject to Malachut. What do we hold, bottom line? So Acham Avadia brought down in Yalkut Yosef, and that's the way the current chief rabbi, Halacha Berurah David Yosef, writes that anyone who wishes to wear a synthetic four-cornered garment must attach the seat to it, but must not recite a blessing. Okay. And therefore, what's the really answer? Avoid wearing them. Why would you get involved now? We've been talking the past week. Wool. Now all of a sudden, you guys are going to go start wearing a synthetic. Cotton's better. Again, if it's a choice between cotton and polyester, there's no she'elah over here. Of course, you should wear cotton. Nobody has any doubt that cotton is hayab, at least with the Rabbanan. Some say cotton could be hayab b'deoraita. But when it comes to these other synthetic garments, again, you have to be careful. I'll tell you what you have to be careful of. You have to be careful of the Judaic stores. Just because they're selling it in a store, it's business. So therefore, you walk and say, can the guy sell it if it's not kasher? And then on the label, they put a picture of, some old rabbi, they put the Rabbi Yaakov Abu Hasira on the shatiyah, or his grandfather on the shatiyah of Shemuel Abu Hasira, whatever it was, and he's wearing the tzitzit, nylon tzitzit. He didn't wear nylon tzitzit. It's a gimmick. They're trying to sell the tzitziyot. Just like when you go into a store, you have to ask for the kashrut of the store. You can't just eat it. One time a guy went into the restaurant, and there's a Hasid guy sitting there, there's a big beard, he's eating a pastrami sandwich. So the other guy sat down, he ate. So they told him, did you ask the kashrut? He said, look at the guy's eating over here. The guy's a beard down to the floor. He said, I want to ask you a question. If that guy would come ask you for a loan for $5, you'd give it to him? He said, of course not. I never met him. Well, when it comes to kashrut, you trust the guy, but you wouldn't trust him for $5 in order to give him a loan. You know what? Everybody's more heter. So just because they're selling something in a store has no ramifications that it's kasher or not. A guy came in the store and he gave me, here's a box. How much you want to sell it for? $10. Give me $5 profit. That's all it is. Mashe'en ken, when it comes to the following question. Now, we did this before. If you have a garment that's made up of a hybrid, it's got some wool and it has some, let's say, polyester. Maybe they make these hybrids. As long as you have more than 50% wool, you're okay. So that you would have to check the, maybe because it stretches better and stuff like that.
And if it's a foot and not wood, and
as long as you have 50%, as long as you're 50% or 50% and one wool, you're good. You do like that. That's the rule. Rov, no, before you get there, if you have rov wool, then you do right. Even though you have 49% polyester, now if you have 50% cotton, then you're drabanan. That's the rule, which means one of the guys in Brooklyn was making a new talit now. It's 49% cashmere and 51% wool. He claims it's a very, very comfortable talit to wear. We're waiting to see it, but you don't have to have 100% wool. You can make these hybrids over here. Although it's better not to get involved with anything of hybrids. But if you look at the note over here, he says, nowadays, many garments on the market are made of a mixture of natural and synthetic fibers, meaning that each thread is spun from a mixture. And therefore, if the synthetic material makes up the majority, so then you have a problem. Pesket the short recommended wearing a talit katan made of pure sheep's wool than any mixture of synthetic threads. What do you got to get involved in the first place? But now listen to the question that we started off with. What would you say if you have a garment made up of two layers? The outer layer is leather, and the inner layer is polyester. Remember we started off in the beginning of the shoot today? So we said we have a mahloket. Do you go according to the outer layer or the inner layer? Well, now you have a safek sefekah. Because if you're going to go with the outer layer is leather. And even if you want to go with the inner layer, that's a mahloket and safek, maybe polyester is patur also. So therefore, when you have a double safek, it could be in that case over there, you would not be hayav in tzitzit at all. Because even if you want to tell me that polyester is hayav, maybe that's only when it's the outer layer, but this is the inner layer, therefore it's going to be patur. So if we have a way to get out of that as well. These are cases just for the brain. I don't think anybody's going to the store today and getting a double layer polyester and wool and hybrid tzitzit like that. But it is very common that people do get these tzitzit with the holes in them. Yes, what do you get them? Hakam holy. It's very holy. It's holy. No problem, money. It's a business. But look at the next halakha. Look at 132. V'chen talitot nylon. שעשויות נקבים, חלולים. ונדמה, באמת זה נקבים, חלולים. כן. ונדמה שהוא ארוג. It looks like it's ארוג. It looks like it's woven. ובאמת עשוי מקשה אחת. It's one sheet. אלא שאחר כך עשוי מנילון חורים. They make חורים. They make holes in the בגדים. חשובים כנעשו מקשה אחת. It's considered as if it's one sheet. ורבים שסברו לפוטרם מסיסיות לגמרי. חכם צבי holds, Edith Tzivi holds like that. Chaya Adam holds like that. And therefore, what are you getting involved over here? ולכן, לא ילבש טלית קטן מסוג זה כלל. Don't wear it. לא ילבש גבר שמלת אישה, ולא ילבש בגד nylon. These are two lavim that don't wear ladies' clothes, and don't wear a biged nylon that has the holes in it. We go again. We keep Tasim at the beginning. The Rav has a collection of them. Okay, Arav. No, no, but the point is, we're learning two things now. Leather is exempt. Wool is the best, and better to be just make it pure without any synthetic. Once you get into synthetic world, you have to know Chama Vadya's opinion. He will tell you if you're going to wear it, you're going to have to put Tzitzit on it, but you'll never make a beracha on it. Because even if somebody shows me a nylon garment that's 26, it's 28, that's the big shiur. No beracha. No beracha. I'll make a beracha on a cotton that's 26. Like I told you yesterday, we make berachot on drabanans. So therefore, if I have a cotton tzitzit that's the right shiur, why can't I make a beracha? Absolutely can make a beracha. Mashik in here, you might not be hayav in the first place. Everybody says cotton, at least it's midrabanan. It could be it's deoraita. Mashik, when it comes to these synthetic garments, it could be it's nothing. And therefore, one should really keep away from these. But at least now, what do you got there, Victor?
To buy talent with tzitzit in China.
Made in
Nobody
China.
there.
Made in China. Okay. This is
$15.
$15. I see. You get what you pay for.
And if you buy two, you get free land.
No, it's got better.
And who made the seat? The guy made the seat. The Chinese guy.
No, Talitania, where do you think they manage?
Chinese? China? What have you, the mashkia on the factory that's making
Well, they don't make the tzitziot, but the talit
I'm
itself
sure.
well, I just want to know what it's made out of.
is made out of wool.
Over here it
Tanya
says,
is wool.
over here it says,
$15.
well, quality of the material poor. That's what it says over here. The guy's complaining already. 11 ratings. I'm a little leery because the shawl came with no paperwork. Okay. What fabric is used, please? See, they didn't answer what fabric. That is really the main question. No, but all the guys are asking. Yeah, that's amazing. They're doing it. All right, Rabotai, we'll stop over here.
So we learned today that we have also a 30%. We have 30, 50, and 100.
Tell me, 30, 50, 100.
30, 50, and $100. You remember?
Yeah. 100. No, this. Yeah, the 50 is the cotton. The 100 is the wool. This over here,
That's
doctor, you're
the-
generous. You're generous.
We'll give $2.
Exactly. I went with the rabbis, but that's $2 exactly. That's $2. $30. That's a lot of money.
Like,
I love it.
But the point of view of saying bracha, as far as the guy will come and say, live there.
Yes, yes.
The way we don't say bracha.
We make beracha.
No.
No. But in the case where we said, let's say you went to
Yeah,
work,
no.
you went in the middle of the day to the gym, you took off your sisut for half hour, you make a beracha.
Has Hebrew, right?